Hey again, everyone. Time for another patented Peyton channel update. It feels like most of the videos I make are like this, so I'll cut right to the first thing, which is the most important thing for YouTube stuff. The first 8 episodes of the top-down shooter series are all on Patreon right now. That's right, count them, 8. And I also said the first 8. So this series is turning out to be longer than I thought it was going to be after editing, but like I said, currently 8 episodes are done. And that's about 7.5 hours of tutorials already. Not to mention the fact that every few days I'm getting another one out there because they're all pretty much in their final stages of being finished. So those will start being uploaded to YouTube very soon. The top-down shooter series is going to be added to YouTube weekly. So they're not coming all at once because I'm hoping that YouTube will be nicer to me if I have videos dispersed. Maybe that'll help out my sidebar recommendations and things like that. But not just that, but because I don't want the channel to be totally dry for an extended period of time. But anyways, yeah, if you want to go ahead and start watching through the series and you want to get a lot of the episodes way sooner than YouTube will, then you can go to my Patreon and check out the tiers that get the early video access. And not just that, if you're supporting on Patreon, as the videos come out on YouTube, I'm going to add in the backer credits and the shout outs and thank yous. And if you're supporting at the time I put the video up, then your name is going to end up in the credits. And again, at the right tiers, you get like a shout out and everything. So yeah, please consider supporting, if only if you have the means to, of course. I'm making these for free, and it's a lot of content, and it has taken me a massive amount of time to make these. I'll elaborate a little bit more on why that is in a minute, but basically, I just want to keep making these series for free, because I want as many people as possible to start making games, and I want to make it easier for people to get into it. So yeah, definitely if you feel like helping out, I won't say no. But either way, I just really appreciate you being here a lot and just watching the videos at all in the first place and learning. So yeah, first episode going up on YouTube. I really want to wait until I have all of them done to start uploading to YouTube, so I can pretty much just be completely done with it all at once, and then I basically just have to schedule videos and record intros and outros and Patreon shoutouts. You know, who knows? But anyways, yeah, like I said, after that, it'll be weekly. There's probably going to be somewhere around 12 episodes total, and potentially more. Hopefully about that number or less, but you know, potentially more, which means, again, if at any time you get a little impatient and you want to watch all of them all at once, then please consider joining the Patreon. And who knows, it might not be weekly, it might be like once every 4 days or something like that I upload them. But yeah, the point is it's a pretty long series. But the good news is it's also a lot to digest per episode, so each episode could conceivably take you a day or two to, you know, fully do it. And so anyways, so here's my more scatterbrained kind of update that I'll just give on everything that I'm doing right now because I want to, and also because I had some time. I'm exporting a video right now, so I basically just have to wait for that to finish. So I figured I could record something for a second. And these update videos are super easy to make. And on top of that, I'm really bad at posting on social medias and Discord and all that stuff. So this is generally where you're gonna get. So yeah, like I said, these videos have taken a long time to make. Just like literally everything I make takes a very long time to make, apparently. My last update video, I kind of mentioned why these videos, well, at the time, were taking longer than I wanted them to, and that was like in August. And that was, I'd had a bunch of problems, like I'd lost footage, I had to re-record a bunch of things and stuff like that, and so, of course, all that happened, and as of why it's taken so long since then, all my videos are very edit-heavy, like extremely edit-heavy. I do tons of takes, and a lot of times I'll speak really slowly while I'm recording because I'm choosing all my words very carefully because I don't want to say something confusing or something wrong or anything like that, so I oftentimes have to cut out a bunch of like dead air or, again, whole sections where I just didn't explain something the right way and I had to go back and do another take or something like that. A couple times I actually had to just re-record parts within the last few weeks just to splice into the videos. So yeah, the editing process itself takes a really long time. Doesn't help that because they are so edit heavy, no editing programs really love the way that my workflow is. So I need to find something else, but the program I'm using right now has a tendency to crash a lot of times whenever my edits get too high and I try and save work and stuff like that. And so I have to deal with that, and I have to, you know, undo all that. And so after these videos, I'm probably going to look into learning different editing softwares and stuff like that and seeing how if they play nice with my computer. But yeah, that's kind of another reason is occasionally I'll just lose a little bit of progress and I'll be like, all right, well, time to just restart from there. So, but anyways, it's going well. Like the videos are very much like in their final stage. Like I said, you know, every 3 or so work days, I'm getting another one, you know, finished and up on the Patreon. So they're basically here. And like I said, 8 of them already are, which is, and not just that, proof watching these videos takes a huge amount of time, and they're difficult for someone who, as the man who recorded these videos and wrote these videos and planned them out, having to watch them like 3 or 4 times through the editing process, and each one of these videos is like an hour long on average. That takes up a huge amount of time. And again, it's not just like 4 passes of an hour-long video. It's like 2 very slow passes while I'm editing, and then 1 slow-ish pass while editing, and then potentially like 2 proof watches, just watching right the way through. So yeah, take a lot of time. Take a lot of time. So that's why that's taking a long time, and a little bit of cause and effect. That's why Starcade is so massively delayed. That and a bunch of reasons. A bunch of reasons that I want to go into more once Starcade is actually done. Some stuff I'd like to talk about. 1, just on the development side, but 2, just on like a much more personal side and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so Starcade probably coming next year. Very early, I'm hoping, but it's just not coming out 22, no way, which is hilarious considering the intro video on my channel is a trailer for Starcade that says fall 2021. So that's pretty funny in a callous way. But yeah, for a bunch of reasons, it's been difficult, and it's mostly just been outside factors. The development of the actual game has not been very difficult to me. In fact, it's very fun. I like it a lot, but just tons of other stuff. Also, this top-down shooter project. I've basically been working on this full-time for like a while, for like months, pretty much. And I think another big thing about all this stuff taking longer is, when I say working full-time, I mean like regular, real full-time. I mean like, you know, averaging 40 hours a week instead of what I used to do a couple of years ago, which I would say, or not even a couple of years ago, really, just about a year ago, I think. I would say we took when the Kickstarter happened, which was the beginning of 2020, March, right before the pandemic. I mean, like 2 weeks after the Kickstarter ended, the pandemic was declared in the United States. So I would say, let's say like maybe 6 months after the pandemic ended. From that point and before, since I was 18, I'm 24 right now. Since I was 18, I've worked pretty much double full time for all those years on game development, on learning game dev, because I started learning when I was about 18. I didn't know anything about game dev before then, so basically for that like 4-year or so period, I was working anywhere from 80 to over 100 hours a week, and that was every single week for those 4 years pretty much. And it affected my health negatively in many different ways, physical and mental. And about a year and a half ago, I sort of forced myself to just say, no, you can't do that anymore. It's very, very bad for you. And I was getting so burnt out on work. And to be honest with you, I had burnout for a really long time at that point. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm totally over it yet, but I was very burnt out for a very long time after I told myself to cool down on the work. And so the past year and a half, 2 years has just been me having to get used to how much slower I work. And not just necessarily slower, because now I work at a fine pace, I think, but a lot of my time estimates I based on the amount of work I could get done in a 100-hour week versus a proper 40-hour week. So been having to get used to that. Still not used to it, apparently. Still not very good at guessing how long things are supposed to take, but it's good though, because I'm doing better. But it's totally good though. Just use that as a anecdotal thing for me to say that, yeah, you know, game dev is really cool and it's really fun to learn, but the moment you start feeling tired, you need to kind of back off a little bit and go at a reasonable pace. Don't stop. Just treat yourself well. Yeah, anyways, Starcade's coming out whenever it comes out. I'm going 100% full-time into Starcade after the top-down shooter series is done. I'm getting extremely anxious to get back to heavy work on it, so it shouldn't be too long, but I want to have plenty of time for testing and fixing any systems that are busted or old or something like that. So I'm going to say early 2023 is now the goal. But yeah, and then by extension, Rose of Starcross is a ways out. It just is. I know most of the people watching this video watch for my Game Maker tutorials and stuff like that, so I don't feel like I'm totally letting down that many people, but I still definitely feel like I am. Yeah, it's a ways away. It really is. That being said, a lot of the work in Starcade is actually stuff that will appear in Rose of Starcross, so it's not like literally no progress has been made on it, but yeah, I returned to that once Starcade is finished. So yeah, it pains me to have not been able to directly work on it for so long, but I know whenever I get back to it, I'm just going to be so much better. The game is going to be so much better because I've been doing all this other stuff in the meantime. So ultimately, it will be a good thing for the game, and I think it's going to be a great game. I'm really excited about it still, like just as excited about it as I was on the Kickstarter, just as excited as I was 2 years before that. So yeah, I don't want this video to be too much longer, but one more thing I'll mention is I might do some kind of Q&A stream or something like that soon. I might do some like dev stream. I might even just like stream me playing just some game or something like that. I kind of just want to do something like that. It's finally turning into fall. I have my nice candles out. The air is actually getting kind of cool, so like I'm feeling pretty good. This is by far the best time of year for me in terms of just excitement and mental health and all that jazz. So I kind of want to do something kind of fun during October. Maybe something spooky themed. I don't know. Obviously can't really make any promises, but I'm just thinking about it. So let me know if you guys would want a QA or a stream of something like that. If anyone is left in the video to answer that question. But anyways, if you are, then thank you. You're a very good listener. And so yeah, I'll just close out and say thank you so much. Massive thanks to my Patreon supporters. That is such a morale boost to me that people are willing to support me in that way. But also, thank you so much if you're subscribed to the channel and you watch my videos, or if you're excited about my games or something like that. I really, really, really appreciate that. I'm still pretty surprised that my channel has done as well as it has with me not working, you know, literally full time on it. I know I have been for like the past X amount of months, but you know, in general, like I don't get to upload very often. So yeah, really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Love you all. Mwah. And I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye now. Hey, have a good one, huh?